what do you think the conversation within those businesses needs to focus on in terms of what they do when it comes to then trying to bring that up into total workforce management?
Yes. One thing that comes to mind is as you are as you are making sense of your employee contract labor and technology pillars, and you are starting to rationalize the work and how it's getting done, you need to also ask yourself, what is the most effective way to get this work done? Meaning, should it be done by employees? Can it be done equally or better by non-employees? And how much of it should I absolutely be enabling through the technology? But you have to, as soon as you get your pillars set and you're reasonably comfortable with some structure around managing them, you've got to start doing the work rationalization in that way, because work is going to start to move from one pillar to another, or work is going to exit completely. And then you have to imagine the new work, thereby informing the new skills that need to come in. And yes, you have to do this all at once, because it is absolutely a balancing act. In my engineering mind, it is an equation. A plus B equals C plus D. And all four of them are going to move a little bit at the same time. And you have to become comfortable with that constant balancing and flow. So this means you better incorporate some pretty good fundamental guiding principles and infrastructure and technology enablement that allows you to manage that equation. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And I think, you've spoken to me before about the people that are looking at this kind of getting the right perspective on it and looking at really how they can put tangible actions in place. How can they move it forward? I think, you've emphasized how critical that is, and I completely agree with you. And one of the other areas that would be interesting to kind of round this off and get your view on is just how much store do you place in the importance of kind of like internal education, within organizations?
Yes.
In the sense that, sometimes the organization, there might be like a top level strategy that's driving this, where the board are really enlightened and or the CPO or the CFO or whoever it is, operations people are driving this. But what about, so there's that type of internal education, but there's also potentially the type of internal education where you get some real change maker who wants to take action, who's kind of jumping up and down saying, this is a problem, we've got to solve this, we've got to do this. How do you think those two methods of education can be used within organizations to actually make this happen?
Early in my career, I read a couple of books by Stephen Covey, which people clearly still reference today. And one of his principles was begin with the end in mind.
Right.
And as a ProSci certified change practitioner myself, I believe that when you begin with the end in mind, what is the ultimate desired outcome? You have to look at that outcome at all levels of the organization. And then you have to get very good at crafting a realistic, credible path to that desired end result. And in doing that, you will discover the language, the words, the storytelling that is important for both the C-suite and the shop floor. And when you start to tell that story, if you've crafted it and delivered it in the right way, you will catch all the advocates at all levels. And then you can learn how to activate them. But education is not presentations and town halls, and it's some of that. But the real magic happens when you've really connected with the stakeholder audience, whatever, from the C-suite to the shop floor. There are dozens or hundreds of them in between. When you find a way to meaningfully connect with them with a what's in it for me, for them perspective, and you learn how to craft that story and make it real to them and show them how they can show up in the story, and we're all marching toward this desired end result, the advocates come out in all of their best selves, ready to employ and activate all the skills and experience they have toward the common good. I've seen it.
That's where the magic happens, right? It's where you've motivated all of the people in the chain. And I always make this analogy of kind of like, you're rowing the Atlantic. Everybody in that boat matters. Everybody's got to be able to contribute, need to know where they're going, and they need to know why they're trying to do it. And then everybody can really
They
pull together.
must understand. They must know. They must see themselves in it. They must. Otherwise, they are disconnected. They are confused. They may even be apathetic, which is very dangerous in an organization that is about to transform. And let's be clear, we are all about to transform going into 2026, whether we know it or not. So yes, very important.